How do you change the sound and personality of a trumpet? On this installment of Building Blocks of Jazz, Phil Dunlap and his guest Adam Hucke demonstrate several kinds of mutes and how they can modify the sound of a trumpet.
Hello, and welcome to the Building Blocks of Jazz. My name is Phil Dunlap, and on today's segment, we're going to talk about sound. And more specifically, we're going to talk about how we alter the sound of an instrument. And one of the ways we can alter the sound of an instrument is through the use of mutes. And to demonstrate this concept, I brought a great friend with me. He is an assistant professor of music at Southwestern Illinois College, a great trumpet player. He's been playing for 20 years. Please welcome Adam Hucke.
Thank you for having me.
Adam, I see you've got a lot of mutes here on the table. Why don't you tell us a little bit about mutes, about what they do, how they work, and we can go through and listen to how they sound.
Great. Well, usually we use the word mute to say something's going to be quieter. Mutes are really made just to change the timbre, the tone color of the instrument. Timbre is the specific qualities of a sound that distinguish it from other sounds. First, how about some trumpet with no mute at all? That'd be normal trumpet sound. And then if we add some of these other mutes, so this first one here is a straight mute. And it's going to make it a little more metallic and a little more piercing to the ear. A little stuffy, maybe. This is a cut mute here. It's going to be a little bit sweeter and a rounder sound than the straight mute.
Oh, you can really hear the difference. What about this one here? It looks like you kind of ran it over with your car.
I did, Phil. I do that with all my mutes. This is a Harmon mute. Harmon is technically a brand, so sometimes this is called a wah-wah or a bubble mute. We'll get to the wah-wah thing later. So this is definitely made popular by Miles Davis. It's going to have a buzzy metallic sound to it.
I see there's I think they call it a stem that kind of goes into it.
Right.
What's the purpose of that?
So the stem, it's just going to give us a different sound. Most people will use it like this. But the fun way to use it is with your hand. Like, remember that horrible joke you told me earlier? Well, now it's funny.
What about that one that looks like you got it out of the hardware store?
That is where I got this mute, Phil. So this is a regular plunger, and I got it at my local hardware store for a couple bucks. And what this does, it kind of gives it a vocal effect. I can get kind of a wah-wah sound out of this.
And that last mute that you have there?
Well, this is going to be used with the plunger. This is a Pixie straight mute, and so it's very similar to this, but it fits inside while you use the plunger. But what's really fun is all the different vocal effects we can make with the plunger and the Pixie straight mute. So, like for example, if we want to start laughing at somebody, or we can do some really fun types of growls. We're actually going to be changing things in our throat now. The mutes are going to stay the same, but I'm going to do something like where I kind of gargle, and another thing where I hum as I play.
Wow, thanks, Adam. You've really shown us how you can add versatility to one instrument by putting something in the bell. Let's put it to some use. You've been watching the Building Blocks of Jazz. How about something in B flat?
All right.
1, 2, 3, 4.